Hi Korkey, BBC Wales here. Loved the last show. Get your point about the cheap titles. More of the same, please.
A fortnight before the England game, the Wales team held a public training session. And I was allowed in to get involved a bit. But at 39 years old and with the hardness of a concert pianist, even a bit sounded risky, but I was fascinated to see what it was like up close. Best thing to do, I thought, was keep a low profile and under absolutely no circumstances humiliate myself by putting the kit on and having my ears taped up.
Bring on, black tape, finish you off.
Brilliant.
You're almost ready for game day, no? You look the part.
Well, it was Ryan Jones.
Will you come and... What we want to do is have a little look at the line out and just see what it's like to be thrown up so high for a normal man. Do I look the part?
Business, you look at business.
What do you think?
Your brother from another mother. Yeah.
We're going to have a little go just to see what it's like. So the props will be able to do that when they Adam and Gethin.
Yeah, Adam and Gethin will chuck you up.
And then if you
probably only need one of them, mind.
Well, I know. I know, I'm only 14 stone.
Or 40, yeah. Soaking wet, is it?
Suddenly I was on, with double Grand Slam winners Gethin Jenkins and Adam Jones.
We were in a big Saturday.
Ryan was looking a bit twitchy. Straight on.
Was the modern line-out as scary as I'd imagined? I'd made an involuntary noise. Yes, it was.
Bloody hell.
It was genuinely terrifying.
All right, Ken.
My nerves had made me too bendy.
Right, like a plank.
And then the boss turned up. Could I impress Warren Gatland? No.
I'm on it! I'm on it!
Finally, I got one right.
Right, that's it. I'm not doing that again. Thank you very, very much.
There's a certain similarity to yourself and Ryan Jones, right? I don't know if anybody's told you that before.
Do you think?
And buoyed by still being alive, I lined up a bit of kicking with Neil Jenkins.
Come back and let him finish off his goalies.
Whenever you like.
Is that all right?
Yeah, whenever you like.
You can take a bomb off if you want, you can go too.
Brilliant.
Happy days, all right?
Thanks very much.
Can I have that for a minute?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I was hoping to get that signed. Oh, there's another Welsh legend, Robert Howley. How about a quick passing workshop with Lloyd Williams?
Step into it. Oh. There we are. Fair play. Do you know where your hands are going?
No, no idea.
So my hands are going towards the target.
Boom. Nailed one.
Exhausted this, like.
Now, in the last game against Scotland, I'd been a reporter for the Western Mail. But what we didn't show you was this. I asked Shaun Edwards what I thought was a totally innocent question at the post-match press conference.
It feels like there's a real chance you could do quite a job on England in Twickenham. Do you ever talk about how much you'd like to beat sides by?
Which led to all the coaches walking out. So this was my chance to say sorry to Mr. Edwards, who up close is as intimidating as you'd imagine.
I'd like to apologise to you personally. I was the person that asked the stupid question at the end of the press conference.
Well, I'm glad you said stupid and not me.
It was the most...
Maybe my actions said it was stupid, I don't know, but...
100%, and obviously in that circumstance, the most ridiculous question.
I thought you was an Englishman, to be honest, because I thought, this is the loaded question, and I could see it all, Edward says we're going to win by 15. Gatland says we're going to win by 12. You know, I could see it. I could just see it pictured on the England dressing room wall, big headlines. You know what I mean? And
motivation.
Yeah, and you know, Lancaster doesn't even have to do a team talk. I'm glad to know you're Welsh anyway, so there's no conspiracy theory anyway.
No conspiracy theory.
I'm pleased about that. That's forgivable.
So I'm forgiven.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Buddy, no problem, mate.
I've been losing sleep over it. It's been bothering me so much.
Okay, mate.
Thanks a lot.
I was losing sleep that you was actually a spy, so you know what I mean?
Thanks, Shaun. Good luck with the rest of it.
Phew. Next, Leigh Halfpenny. For me, one of the stars of the tournament. And I just had to ask him about that last kick of the game match winner against Ireland.
Well, I was feeling terrible to start with. My heart was going, and
yeah, how nervous were you feeling?
Yeah, I was pretty nervous, you know, to have the whole of the nation's
hopes and dreams.
Watching you, yeah, and yeah, just to see it go over then, you know, was sort of a dream come true, and so I could put the miss against France to bed then, and yeah, really glad to be taking the kicking duties.
Right then, now you're going to embarrass me. Okay, cool. I just want to sense what it's like to catch a ball from the sort of kicks that you would put up.
Right. Stay loose, keep your eye on the ball, you'll be fine.
Oh, God. You plum.
I tried to do your jumpy thing. Never mind that, come on. Easy, easy, easy. Caught it, although no points for style. Right then, Halfpenny, let's see what you can do with a Corcoran special. Oh. Wow, it is his job after all.
I better relish this moment. It doesn't get much better than that. Sharing up and unders with Leigh Halfpenny on the Millennium pitch. That's unbelievable.
With my boyhood dream achieved, the team went off to do some proper training. Right. England versus Wales at HQ with a triple crown on the line was going to be huge, so I really wanted to be able to concentrate on watching the game. On the other hand, I did need a cheap gimmick with a Welsh theme to justify BBC Wales sending me there. So I took along Kiwi comedian and friend Mr. Jared Christmas.
Performing Hang Up by Madonna. It's Jared Christmas!
Or the Welsh link, he's got a Welsh wife. But he had to earn his honorary Welsh fan status. So, if he could name me 3 Welsh players, he got to wear the silly daffodil.
The guy named after the bread, Warburton. Sam Warburton.
Yeah, okay, good.
Alan Jones.
Alan Wynne Jones.
It's not Kevin Jenkins.
Yes, all right, you're in.
Have I got it on?
Put it on.
I got it on.
The first half was tense and tight, and it definitely wasn't going to be a rout.
Get up, get up.
Oh!
Wales had only won here twice in 25 years, and to make matters worse, Jared's mic was playing up. Where do you put a mic on a daffodil?
We can't hear what you're saying. It's covering your microphone.
Siddle pedal.
As the first half ended, England had played well and definitely had the bragging rights on us. Warren Gatland was going to have to earn his money with a half-time team talk. Jared, you've got the accent. Go for it.
But if this was a movie,
Oh, right, yeah.
they'd be saying 2 times in 25 years. Are you happy with that? Are you happy with it? I'm not
Yeah.
happy with that.
No.
It's their house, so let's break down the doors and smash the windows.
And what followed was worthy of a movie. We'd already had one of the tightest games ever against Ireland. Surely the script writers couldn't invent a new twist. The plot was flowing along quite nicely, and we were well into the second act. And Jared was getting into the movie star mode.
So your microphone all day has been the problem.
Well, the TV I've done, I've got people who put it in the correct place the first time.
We had a villain, who later on would turn into a hero. And the tension was building, ready for the big finale. It was all set for the Hollywood happy ending. But just when you thought it was safe to go back to the bar,
You've got to hold him out. You have got to hold him out.
the twist that no one saw coming.
Ian, try no try, please. Try, please.
Time stood still. Just how long could they string this out? And then it dawned on us that this was the moment. Wales's Grand Slam dream could stand or fall on this one decision. I couldn't decide myself which way it should go. And Robert Howley couldn't decide whether to sit down or stand up. Or sit down or stand up. Every Welsh fan was as tense as I was. And every honorary one too. Please. Please. Yes! With England beaten, it was time to take stock of what we'd learnt so far. We had learnt. CCTV is definitely intrusive. It's hotter in LA than it is in Treforest. English number 8s who play for Welsh regions and then play against Wales get nervous. And for some reason, Scotland have employed the Vicar of Dibley. But the main thing that we've learnt is that Wales are good. Really good. Like Adam Jones taking down a winger in full flight good. This team could be on the brink of something special. All thoughts now turned to a Grand Slam decider, and only Italy stood in the way. So where better to watch a hatful of tries in the spring sunshine on what was now pre-Grand Slam weekend than a stuffy outside broadcast truck in the car park. I had stepped into the Welsh rugby fans' Starship Enterprise and I was heading at light speed to a TV overload, although to look at me you wouldn't really know. To a valley boy who still asks people to video stuff for him and gets confused by the technology of his fridge, it was mind-boggling. And in the truck it was tense.
This is going to be very difficult not to make a noise throughout the game. Let's hope Wales don't score any tries.
We had important matters to attend to. Priestland.
No, I'd rather he score and I get chucked out.
This is Matt Griffiths, the director who calls the shots. Everything flows through him. Live feeds, replays, everything. And in here it's a weird world of beauty shots, gold shots, dirty shots. And to increase the pressure, all of them packaged up and going out to the whole world. Matt was playing with an infinite choice of shots and technological toys, but for me...
No idea what's going on in here. I can't work out what. I think the two screens in the middle of the transmission feed, I think I've sussed that out. Apart from that, I don't know what's going on.
The game that I could just about follow amid the cacophony was a stop-start affair, and at half-time, it was a tense 9-3. Though the big news in the truck was that a camera had gone down for the half-time interview.
Camera 5 went down. Big dramas. Another camera had to sprint across. Running backwards. Across with all the footage bouncing down. So it was like a scene from Bullies.
Then as the second half began, the crew of the Enterprise started to speak a strange language.
Poor pass on Exmo. Strong with the back, take on Exmo. And then the opportunity for...
Cock up on silver, Reese.
Jiffy telestration on yellow, standing by.
Stand by, telestration next on yellow.
But all I understood was this. And then in the replay area, all hell broke loose.
Reese running. Come to yellow next. Take it back. 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 Run it to there. We're playing it in. We're playing it in. Play it on yellow from there. Running on blue. Park it up.
But whilst everyone was parking up stuff on colours and taking it, I remained result-focused. Here we go, Wales by 28.
No doubt about it.
And then it was time for Welsh rugby legend and commentator Jonathan Jiffy Davis to choose his man of the match.
It's Halfpenny or Tipperidge, what do you think? Give it a Tipperidge. Tipperich's going to give it. Tipperich.
Reg the montage of Tipperich.
Thank you.
What a day for Tipperich on his first full start. But then this happened.
Is that man of the match, Jiff? Come on, Seth.
And Jiffy was wavering.
Thank you. Well done, Jiff.
Fancies his chances against Bloody Mascot.
I might give it a...
Benucci into touch.
Tell me now, we've got a minute to go. Cuthbert, right. Cuthbert's man of the match, everybody.
My man of the match is Alex Cuthbert.
Great stuff from Alex Cuthbert, and ultimately job done for the Welsh.
Okay, come on, 11.
Of the 5.
Job done indeed. Hey, Tony, have you done the final montage?
Not yet, no, I'm still doing it.
Can we have a Queen track?
Yeah, which one would you like?
Can we have Hammer to Fall?
Ooh, I'll see what I can do.
Brilliant. Thanks, mate. Perfect. Well, if you can't abuse your position when high on the vibe of a Welsh win, when can you do it? At last, we were allowed to be Grand Slam focused. And to get in the mood, I thought back to Wales's last Grand Slam decider at the Millennium Stadium. That was also against France in 2008. And it turned out to be a really special day. Ian Goff won his 50th cap. Ray Gravel's daughters led the team out onto the pitch, which was amazing. There were a couple of wags on view. It was a real sense of occasion. But what I remember was that not a heck of a lot happened during the first half, and it was so tense. James Hook chipped away, got some penalties, but there wasn't any tries scored. And in fact, the only thing that really distracted from the fact there wasn't a heck of a lot going on was Martin Williams was having a blinder and clearly getting a bit of shoe pie for his troubles.
Well, he is a redhead.
And Vincent Clegg did a good impression of the Phantom of the Opera. But apart from that, it was just tense, added to by the fact that just towards the end of the first half, Gavin Henson got sin-binned. And then France chipped their way back into it. So, well, it was basically summed up beautifully by Eddie Butler.
And yet, all of a sudden, here they are. Only 3 points in front and down to 14 players. It's half-time.
So, start of the second half, I just remember thinking to myself, this is going to be, at best, torture. And for the first 10 minutes, it was, because France went 9-9, and then Gethin Jenkins went off injured, and then France just kind of started getting control, really. And then, thank goodness, this happened.
When they've got the possession, they must do the hard work, the hard yards, like they did at the beginning, because that's what's required.
Knock on by Josian. Shane Williams pounces. Williams, it's a foot race, and Shane Williams is going to win it there. Oh, breakaway try!
And it didn't get much better, because even though they exchanged some penalties, France and Stephen Jones kicked some, so it was 22-12, so we were 10 points up, and you think that's going to be okay, but not in a Grand Slam game. But then, one of the greatest moments I've ever seen on a rugby pitch happened.
Still danger for Wales.
Don't expect anything to happen here. Clear the lines, maybe kick the touch. No. Mark Jones literally running the length of the pitch. And it would have been the greatest try of all time in a Grand Slam decider. And he finished a yard short of free beer for life. But then, funnily enough, as it turned out, it was the best try setup of all time, because it led, after a number of phases, to this.
I'm going to be one with something just a little bit special. Maybe it's going to be Martin Williams. It is!
Martin Williams' match-winning try that just sealed the game off, and that was it. We knew we'd won. We'd won our second Grand Slam in 3 years. In 1978, there'd been another Grand Slam decider against France, so it was off to West Wales to speak to one of the true Welsh rugby greats on what felt to me like the best duvet drying day for 50 years. Although apparently down here, this is called a breeze. I was going to meet Phil Bennett.
We didn't play to the best of our ability. There was no spackle, there was no pace, no flair, no skill that afternoon. But what we did have was a desire to win the Grand Slam.
Tell me about the preparation for going into a Grand Slam game in your day.
They wouldn't believe it, you know. Honestly, train at Aberavon on the Sunday before on the beach, light run out on the Thursday, and then Friday was hysterical. We'd all arrive at the Angel Hotel. Nobody telling us about diets or anything now. I'm starving. The Angel Hotel was a bit posh, so we'd sit down and have a lovely meal, an early meal on Friday evening. Chips, steak, sweets, puddings, put it all down, you know. And then we used to walk, Chris, to the cinema down in Cardiff. You know, and these hundreds of fans would be saying, it's the Welsh team down there. And we say, all right, that was good, you know, just walk down there, go into the cinema there, watch some film. God, it could be a shambles of a film. And Jerry Lewis, our physio, used to be like the team manager of that evening, and he'd have a certain amount of money to buy us an ice cream each. And we'd say, Jerry, honestly, can we have ice cream? Yeah. But Bill Clement has said, none of you are having flakes because you're all too expensive having flakes. I was like, oh, can we have a flake, please? No, you can't have a flake. You can just have the ice cream. Have an ice cream. Stroll back to the hotel.
Did you get sauce?
Oh, no sauce. No, just a plain ice cream. Honestly, you wouldn't believe it. Back to the hotel, a sandwich, cup of tea, to bed.
There's some lovely moments in that game of you. There's one you chuck the ball through your legs like a Fijian. And then there's another one where, you know, you're talking about your relationship with you and Gareth Edwards, but there's a terrific moment where he chucks you a terrible pass.
Edwards giving the little dummy that he
and
often
you
does.
give him a look as if to go, what? Don't go chucking that at me. And Bill McLaren picks up on it in the commentary.
Yeah.
Yes. He's saying, don't give me another one of those, please.
I say to Gareth now, and I meet him now, and he says, "You're looking well, Phil. You know, yeah, I get a bit of a bad back. All those passes I'll take down on my knees." And he goes, "Don't start on that there now." But it was funny in that game as well. They were a great French side.
Yeah.
They had a front row. Sholly was a monster, brute of a man. Papramore, Paco, a great hooker. And I remember there was a bit of a dust-up fight. You could have a scrap in those days. There's no yellow cards, and it was great, you know.
Has been simmering for a bit. And that really was nasty.
And the referee calls their captain, Bastiat, 6'8", and myself together, and he's giving us hell of a row. And Bastiat's nodding, and I'm saying, "Ref, whatever he says, he can have, don't worry about it." Because he's looking down at me, he's very angry, you know. And he says, "Go back and tell your lads now, cool head." And I'm going back, and Charlie Faulkner and Bobby Windsor, all these blackguards from Pontypool, and I'm saying, "Boys, get stuck into this slowly."
I was going to ask you what you said to them.
Oh, you say, you know, don't notice the referee, let's really pound these guys.
Did you, genuinely?
Yeah, hey, but I tell you what,
that's brilliant.
Bobby, Charlie and Pricey, they didn't need no sort of telling. They knew what to do. They were great men, you know, they were very, very brave men for Wales. And remarkably, you know, I didn't score many tries for Wales, but I scored 2 that afternoon, and 2 from within about 10 metres. The first Alan Martin wheels a scrum. Pops it out to me, I beat a couple of men, and I'm gone over. But what was very important to me, France had taken the lead in that game, and if you look back at me playing rugby, I never took a long time taking conversions or penalty. But in my mind then, I thought, I've got to kick this conversion. And it was right on the touchline, and I struck it, and I went over, so we were right back in the game. Then a great break by Steve Fennick down the middle.
Gravel running at them as always. Good tackle by Billiscan.
Back to Graves, back to Gareth Edwards, goes right out to J.J. Williams, the flyer. I'm just about to applaud, he's going in the corner. They force him in towards the touchline, he throws it inside, I pick it up, and I get another try.
Was that always the plan to retire after that game, or did you go, that went so well, I think I'll just call it a day?
No, I don't think people realise the pressures. Even in those days, it was an amateur era, but I was physically and mentally exhausted, and I wanted to go to the top. But I can honestly say it was the hardest decision of my life.
Yeah.
But I kept it quiet because I didn't want it to be Phil Bennett going away.
Yeah.
I wanted us to win the Grand Slam for Wales and the crowd. And I think on the same day, the great Gareth Edwards retired. We got into the dressing room at the end of the game, and I just said, "Gareth, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure." And he said, "What's happening then?" I said, "I'm finishing." "Bloody hell, so am I," he said.
Really?
And he said, "Yeah," and we both shook hands, and he decided enough was enough. So in a way, it was a fantastic feeling to go to the Grand Slam, and yet you were very saddened to think you'd never be running on that park ever again.
Now, I can't let you go, obviously, without talking through this with you. You know what's coming, right? It's the greatest try of all time. Just talk us through your memories of this then.
Yeah, I can remember Brian Williams was a great winger. I mean, a great winger, kick it down just side the 22. And I'm thinking, I'm going to put this into the stand. And Scown, number 6, comes at me, beats him. But I didn't realise a few more coming. And I threw a suicidal pass to JPR. The referee would have blown that up in the modern game. And why did John pull in an Englishman have to handle that ball? John Dawes made a break, Tommy David, and people say he was at forward, never forward. And look at Edwards going, and what a dive. It was a remarkable start. And what got me about that, the crowd went absolutely berserk.
Yeah.
Absolutely berserk, and I think that set the game up. Absolutely berserk. Look at the crowd. You swear there's Wales playing there.
Yeah, yeah. And the other nice bit about that is the sidesteps bit. One of my mates said, ask Phil if he sidestepped because he can't kick off his left foot.
Do you know, in that game, Willie John was playing in the second row and he's standing back at the halfway line. And when he sees me doing all this, he says, what the hell is he doing here now? And Willie's never forgiven me for that. I said, what about the try, Willie? I don't care. He said, that should have gone into touch. Nice line out, Willie's never forgiven me for that, you know. And I remember when I went to the Lions, Willie said, Phil, do you remember that game against the All Blacks in '73? I don't want any of that nonsense. Just sticking into touch, yeah. Yeah, it was incredible. Absolutely incredible.
This is a bit I also wanted to show, though, right? Because it's normally about there the footage stops, you know. But no one ever really watches the bit when we run it on. It's a all unbelievable moment, clearly. Gareth Edwards strolling back. And then, of course, it's you.
Yeah.
To take the conversion. Remember this moment?
I think it was a shocker, if I remember. Was it? I think I kicked one that went underneath the post. I think a goalkeeper or a job.
Yep, good memory, Phil Bennett.
Oh, look. Well, that's from inside the 22. I was absolutely knackered, so no chance of me kicking that, right?
In fairness, you had sidestepped twice off that right foot, didn't you?
So that was overworked, I tell you. I knew that was coming. There was no chance of me kicking that. Never, ever.
So ahead of Saturday's game, what I wanted to know was what Phil Bennett thought about the current Welsh team compared to the great Welsh teams of the 70s.
Someone like Ryan Jones and Adam Jones and Gethin Jenkins could win their third Grand Slam if they beat France. Do you think they now deserve to be talked in the same breath as all you guys?
Oh, quite, you know, great players. I mean, Ryan Jones this season has been a revelation. He's been fantastic. You know, his work ethic, if he's playing from the start, wing forward, number 8, second row, doesn't matter. He's playing for Wales. Gethin Jenkins, what a motor with him. These kind of guys, you know, they deserve, if they win 3 Grand Slams, they've achieved something special. And I think that they will go down in folklore. Like guys in the 70s have, you know, those guys who won the Grand Slam then, they deserve to go down there. And I just say we all should be very proud. Doesn't matter what era, where we are, these guys are winning things for Wales, for the people. And I would tell you what, when you go all over the world, it makes you very, very proud. You can say, hey, we've won the Grand Slam. And I just hope these boys get the full credit that they thoroughly deserve.
So this is it. Who knows what Saturday will bring? I was never good enough to wear a Welsh shirt, but these boys are. And all Wales will wish them well. We can only dream of what you alone can do. The Golden Team, the first 15, the nation looks to you. To take the stage where others played and carved their names in stone. And on that stage, to come of age and make those names your own. Good luck, boys.